who manages to fend
Stay in field, dive, place it. Oh, beautiful try, Rappi. Can anyone remember that time like 3 years ago when there was no sport at all? Look at us now! The knockouts of the Champions Cup and its mongrel brother, the Challenge Cup, started this weekend, and every match was do or die. Friday night's first match between the Tigers and Edinburgh ended with the proverbial death of the Scottish visitors. Will I, the model of rugby neutrality, say that the Tigers won because of Pollard and Visa? Not on camera. Next, Munster travelled down to Durban for Saturday's first match. Both teams had to make up for an embarrassing performance the week before, and it was probably just lucky that the Sharks were playing at home. Half a century of points for the host and the privilege of travelling to Toulouse for the quarterfinals. The Quins had a chance to refresh their tans from the last time they visited the coast of South Africa, and this time they didn't even have to worry about E. coli. Too bad for them that the Stormers are the best performing business under administration and they easily killed off the Visitors' Challenge. The Stormers' reward is that they get to go face the Chiefs in Exeter, and I think their flight was also delayed, so eesh. Next, we got to see that rugby in Dublin is super healthy. 50,000 people went to see Ulster get bested in the cold and wet. Much like last season, it's hard to see how anyone can beat the literal #1 test team in the world with their club side right now. At least for now. The possible game of the weekend happened in La Rochelle when they were given a proper scare by the visiting Gloucester. A late winner by the defending champions sent Gloucester out of the competition, but they did show that the king can bleed, with Billy 12 trees at 10. I watched a bit of the Chiefs versus Montpellier and it was all looking pretty good for the French visitors. A red card for Zach Mercer tipped the scales back towards the Chiefs, and after like 3 hours of rugby, it was still locked at 33-all. For some weird reason, the tiebreaker was most tries scored in a match and not a penalty shootout. Now a possibly exhausted Chiefs host the Stormers this coming weekend. I was pretty amped to see if the Bulls could mount any kind of fight against French giants Toulouse. Dumb as dirt, right? Toulouse never got out of third gear as they sent the poorly disciplined Bulls back to their beloved Loftus without even a try. Jake has some work to do. And finally, the unintimidatable Ospreys travelled to Saracens to see if they could perform another giant-slaying act. They were winning up until the 57th minute. Then they let their foot off the gas and let the Saracens take the win. Can't be going around beating your possible future employers now, can you? The Champions Cup will be entering its really juicy part from this coming weekend onwards. The quarterfinals are set and us Urk enjoyers get to cheer on the Stormers, Sharks and Leinster to make the semis. Global club rugby is really shining bright. But just like the moon, the force and female pop artist, the Champions Cup has a dark side. We call it the Challenge Cup. Urk and French teams are the only sides left in these cursed quarterfinals. Almost comically, the Lions have found themselves amongst teams like Toulon, Clermont and the newly terrifying Glasgow Warriors. I'm sure they will be politely shown the door by the Glasgow Warriors this coming weekend, most likely in the form of a 50-point thrashing. C'est la vie. I'll be telling people about factual things that happened, and I will call it the news. Down in the dirty south, a certain Mr. Jones announced that he's going to be going on a boys' weekend in April, and he even gave a list of cool guys that can go with him. This is no doubt the first of a few camps that he will be having, so if your favorite dude didn't make it this time, maybe you'll get to go to the next one. Anyway, keep that anger bottled up till late in the year when the true entourage gets announced. Finally, some vote happened in Wales that would change the way the game is set up to be run by the WRU. I'm not sure how it will be set up, but most people seem to be happy that there will be a change. At the very least, we can hope that open misogyny and racism will be stamped out in that organization. How novel! And I need to stamp out this week's rugby update. I will see you all next week after the Lions spanked the Glasgow Warriors in Glasgow. Wow, bye! Wow, can you believe it?